Shayla Reeves. This is CBSN Minnesota's morning update. Grab that coffee and let's get you up to speed with all your news and weather. If you're heading out today, you might need an umbrella to get you started. There's a chance for some drizzle around noon today, and the temperature down to 63 degrees will bump up to 65 by 4 p.m. and conditions will be a little windy. We'll dive down to 64 degrees by 8 p.m. with cloudy conditions sticking around. Now let's talk about this. This weekend marks the unofficial end to summer, the long Labor Day holiday weekend. It's also the final weekend of the state fair and the last weekend before many kids return to the classroom next week. So we want to know if there are any traditions you have for this last weekend of summer. Maybe it's going to the state fair or taking one last trip with the kids. Let us know. Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment on here and we'll read through a few of those in just a moment. We have an update to a story a lot of you are following. Police have made an arrest in the murder of a youth baseball coach. It's been nearly 2 months since a bullet hit Jay Boughton while he was driving home with his son on Highway 169 in Plymouth. Investigators say he was shot from another SUV passing by. Police now have a suspect in custody, a 33-year-old man from Chicago. Investigators spent more than 1,500 hours working the case and followed up on more than 400 tips from the public. Finding the SUV used that night helped lead them to the suspect.
This doesn't do anything to bring Jay back, clearly, but I think it does help the family understand that, you know, they're not going to be wondering forever what happened or who was responsible for this.
Police arrested the 33-year-old suspect in Decatur, Illinois last week. He'll be extradited back to Minnesota. WCCO is not naming the man until he's officially charged. Good news for anyone with plans to visit the Boundary Waters Canoe area this weekend. Crews have made progress fighting wildfires in northeastern Minnesota. The Superior National Forest plans to reopen parts of the area tomorrow. The closure at the Upper Gunflint Trail remains in place. Officials say 65 fires have burned about 45 square miles. The recent rain is improving the dry conditions across the state. Here is the latest drought map. The lighter red area, or extreme drought, used to cover more than half the state. It's better now. The worst of the drought in dark red hasn't changed very much. President Joe Biden plans to visit Louisiana today. The president is touring damage that Ida caused when the hurricane made landfall there on Sunday. The death toll from the storm has increased to nearly 50 people. The Northeast is still reeling after remnants of Ida brought deadly flooding, tornadoes, and winds to the region. A warning for unvaccinated headed into the long holiday weekend. The CDC says if you're not vaccinated against COVID-19, you should not travel over the Labor Day weekend. The Delta variant is driving a surge of around 160,000 new cases each day across the country, according to Johns Hopkins University. Don't be surprised if you see more item limits in stores again. Pandemic hoarding appears to have made a resurgence along with the Delta variant. Retailers like Costco are again putting purchase limits on things like toilet paper, disinfectant wipes, and hand sanitizer. Many people hoarded those items during the initial COVID-19 outbreak in 2020, leading to widespread shortages. The global shortage of computer chips is getting worse. It's forced General Motors to completely pause production of 8 plants during the next couple of weeks. That includes 2 that make the company's top-selling Chevrolet Silverado pickup. Ford will also stop making pickups at the Kansas City plant for the next couple of weeks and cut shifts at plants in Michigan and Kentucky. The Gopher football team lost its season opener to 4th-ranked Ohio State last night. The Buckeyes won 45-31. The Gophers played in front of a sold-out crowd at Huntington Bank Stadium with more than 50,000 fans in the stands for the first time in nearly 2 years. It was one of the largest outdoor sports events in Minnesota since the pandemic started. Masks are required indoors unless you're eating or drinking, and they are strongly encouraged if you're outdoors, like in your seats or the concourse. But fans we talked to were just happy to be there.
I have no issues with it whatsoever. I mean, I'm glad that everyone's got their ways of protecting others. You know, you'll see it too. People will be wearing them throughout the building. I know once we get inside, mine will go on.
It's just great to be back, see the actual energy. Definitely missing that, watching games last year on TV.
Gopher fans will have another chance to watch the team in person next week. Minnesota hosts Miami, Ohio next Saturday. Here they go again. Swedish music group ABBA is releasing its first new album in 4 decades, and the first 2 songs are already available.
I still have faith in you. I see.
The entire 10-song album will be released November 5th. The pop group also announced a comeback concert in London next May. It will feature their virtual avatars and a 10-piece live band. A musical take on a classic fairy tale premieres today. Singer Camila Cabello dreams of more than romance in the new version of Cinderella. She still has a wicked stepmother, played by Idina Menzel, and draws the eye of a handsome prince, but that doesn't alter her dreams. Billy Porter plays Fab G, a new take on the classic fairy godmother character. Cinderella is streaming now on Amazon Prime Video. And back to today's talker. Let's see what you all are saying online. How are you going to spend this weekend going into the Labor Day holiday? We usually go to the state fair, says Pam, and celebrate both our kids' birthdays. They were born Labor Day weekend, 2 years apart by 4 days. Happy birthday to those wonderful children of yours. And Tez says going to the fair this holiday weekend. And Bradley, we try to get together with family and grill out and play yard games. This year we're opting for pizza, but still plan to get together as a way of celebrating back to school next week. And finally, Jackie says we generally go camping, but it's a yard work kind of weekend here. Too many projects around the home. Well, thank you all so much for weighing in. This is your morning update from CBSN Minnesota, your only local streaming news source. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at the same time on Monday. Have a great holiday weekend.